Strap on your headphones, people, because we are back with another episode of Is It? With me, Dan and Sean. So, straight into it. What are we looking at today, Sean?
Today, Dan, we are looking at the Tone Project's Basslane Pro.
Basslane. More bass. Bass.
More bass
Cool.
in your lane.
It looks pretty cool. What does it do?
So basically, it's a
Basically,
it's like a bass management tool. So it lets you sort out any phase issues in the bass. It lets you control how much of it is mono. It's got dynamics. It's also got some stereo width stuff. So normally with a bass, this is more of a mastering tool, I guess. You want the real low end to be mono, really. There's no point in having stereo information down there. That's not a good thing. Doesn't sound good. Causes issues sometimes. So this lets you sort of almost funnel your bass so that the lower down you go in the frequency spectrum, the more bass is in mono. And as you go higher up, you can push that more into stereo. You can change the dynamics in different frequency bands. It's like the ultimate tune your bass to sound great plugin.
Okay, and you mentioned it as useful as a mastering plugin. So
Yeah.
first of all, it doesn't actually make noise. Would you have it on your bass bus or your stereo bus?
I would put this on the stereo bus, but I probably wouldn't use it in a mix. I think it's a mastering tool for me, but that doesn't mean for everybody. It could be really useful in a mix.
Cool. Well, I could see some knobs. We love knobs. So why don't you take us through some of those features?
Some of those knobs. Okay, so we have a sub filter. So, like a high pass, you can basically filter off some of the real low stuff if it's just getting in the way and you don't want it. You then have things like, the big knob in the middle is the width.
Timeless, Joe.
Yeah, who's the big knob in the middle? So you set your frequency, you set your width, and obviously that means you can bring it in, make it more mono, or you can spread it out. There's a gain control, so you get some control over the volume of it. Along the bottom, you have things like mid-side, so you can really get involved, do some interesting stuff. You can dampen it, you can compress it, change the level, and then you've got this bit on the right which says mono recovery. So basically once you've done your initial processing, you can then, I need a bit more mono down here at this frequency range. You can do some of that, and then obviously there's a compressor there too. So it really does cover everything you would need to cover with bass.
As someone that works with a lot of bass that you often have to sort out at the mastering phase, this is pretty interesting stuff with the monoing down at the bottom.
100%. Yeah.
You've squared something there that says linear phase that you were briefly talking about when we were making tea a moment ago.
I was, yeah.
I didn't understand it then. Could you explain to these people don't understand it?
So this works in two modes. It works in linear phase or in real time. Now both of them work in real time in that you don't have to do an offline bounce or anything. This works in real time. But linear phase mode, with an EQ, a linear phase is something you might use in mastering. Not everyone likes it. But every time on a normal EQ, when you make any kind of a cut or a boost, you are adjusting the phase relationship of the signal. Mm-hmm. And if you do too much of it, you cause smearing. It causes issues. So sometimes you would use a linear phase EQ where it compensates for that. And this works like that. So you can do some quite drastic things to the bottom end, to the bass, in order to make it sound just right. And it does it in a linear phase way. So you're not smearing things. You're not causing issues.
Clear as mud.
Clear as mud. There you go.
Wonderful. Good stuff. So let's move on. Trials and stuff?
Yeah, 30-day trial. Unfortunately, there's no save function, which I guess that's fine. But it does make noise at you every now and again, which is quite annoying.
White noise?
Yeah. Might be pink noise, actually. It doesn't happen for long enough for me to tell, but it just goes...
Oh, well, that's a shame. How much is it?
It's normally £114, but at the moment it's on sale for $79.80. I think if you're mastering, there's not much else that does this. Obviously, a lot of the Brainwork stuff has the mono maker thing now, which a lot of people have started to use, and that's a good thing. This is basically that on steroids. It's a real bass control plugin, and I think if you're doing a lot of mastering of dance music, I think you probably need this. I get it with a lot of other styles of music, probably not so much. The bass isn't quite so unwieldy, but dance producers do like to go a bit nuts with their sub.
We do.
And this allows that sub to sound fat. This is the other thing to mention, what this is used for, not just for taming loud bass or subby bass. This allows that kind of bass to be heard on smaller speakers, because you can generate harmonics in the higher up regions, so that if you listen to it on a little laptop, you'll still hear that that's got a fat bass. Whereas without that, you maybe wouldn't.
Very cool. So the Tone Project's Basslane, Sean. Is it shit?
No, it's not shit. I don't think it's necessary for lots of people, but I think you'll know if you're having problems mixing or mastering the bottom end, then this is something definitely worth playing with the demo and seeing if it helps.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Tone Project Basslane, not shit.
Not shit at all.
Cool. So, while we're here, please remember to send us some free money via the Patreon.
I mean, we should explain, it's not free money. I mean, it is free money, but it's so that we can do more of this stuff, basically. We're not just going down the pub. Not all the time.
And subscribe to the channel.
Definitely do that. And we have a merch store now, so you can buy a t-shirt or a mug or a sticker, all kinds of crazy stuff. What else can they do, Dan?
Well, you can just have a jolly nice time watching the rest of the videos on our channel.
That's a good idea. Awesome. See you soon.